Section 22, Licensee Ethics, Fair Housing Practice. In the market introduction, the difference between legal and ethical. As we move into this final section, we shift from laws and enforcement into something just as important, ethics. Throughout this course, we've focused on what is legal and illegal. But here's the reality in 2026. Just because something is legal does not mean it is ethical. Ethics is what separates a good agent from a great one. It's what builds long-term success, referrals, and reputation. And in many cases, it's what prevents you from ever facing a complaint in the first place. In real estate, your reputation is your business, and your ethics define that reputation. Ethics versus compliance, understanding the gap. Many agents believe that if they follow the law, they are doing their job correctly. But ethics goes beyond that. Ethics is about how you treat people, how you make decisions, and how you handle situations when no one is watching. For example, if you find yourself trying to justify a decision or hoping no one finds out about something you did, that's often a sign that your actions may be unethical. Ethical behavior is not always black and white. It requires judgment, honesty, and a commitment to doing what is right, even when it's not the easiest option. Ethics and long-term success. There is a common misconception in real estate that putting your own financial interests first will lead to success. In reality, the opposite is true. The most successful agents are those who consistently put their clients first. They focus on service, transparency, and trust. Over time, this leads to repeat business, referrals, and a strong reputation in the community. Ethical agents don't just close deals, they build relationships that last for years. Real-world example, collusion between agent and lender. Let's look at a real-world example of unethical behavior. A real estate agent shows buyers homes that are outside their budget. When the buyers express concern, the agent refers them to a specific mortgage broker who promises to make the deal work. The broker places the buyers into a complex or high-risk loan, allowing the deal to close and generating higher commissions for both the agent and the lender. At first, everything seems fine, until the loan terms change and the buyers can no longer afford their payments. This is collusion, and it is both unethical and harmful. The agent prioritized their commission over the client's financial well-being. Rubber stamp appraisals, manipulating value. Another unethical practice involves pressuring appraisers to meet a predetermined value. This is known as a rubber stamp appraisal. In these situations, lenders may threaten to withhold future business if the appraiser does not meet the expected value. The result? Buyers end up paying more than the property is worth, creating financial risk not only for the individual buyer, but for the entire market. This type of behavior undermines trust and stability in the real estate industry. Scraping, taking what isn't yours. Scraping occurs when agents or brokers copy listing information, photos, or content from another agent's website without permission. While it may seem harmless, it is a clear violation of ethical standards. It takes credit for someone else's work and misleads consumers. In today's digital world, protecting your content and respecting others' work is more important than ever. Subagenting, taking credit for someone else's work. Subagenting is another unethical practice where an agent directs a buyer to another agent to show properties, then steps in at the last moment to write the offer and collect the commission. The agent who did the actual work receives nothing, while the original agent benefits financially. This behavior damages professional relationships and creates a lack of trust within the industry. The ethical standard, a simple test. A simple way to evaluate your actions is to ask yourself, would I be comfortable if my client, broker, or the public knew about this decision? If the answer is no, it's likely not ethical. Ethics is about transparency, fairness, and doing what is right, even when it costs you in the short term. Why ethics matters more than ever in 2026. In today's market, consumers are more informed, regulators are more active, and reputations spread faster than ever through online reviews and social media. Unethical behavior is no longer hidden. It is exposed quickly and can have long-lasting consequences. On the other hand, ethical behavior builds trust, credibility, and long-term success. Connecting ethics to fair housing and your career. Everything we've covered in this course, fair housing laws, ADA compliance, enforcement, comes back to one core idea: treat people fairly and honestly. Ethical behavior naturally supports compliance. When you act in your client's best interest and treat all individuals equally, you reduce your risk of violations. This is what defines a professional in the real estate industry. Online discussion. Question 1. What is the difference between legal and ethical behavior? Answer. Legal behavior follows the law, while ethical behavior goes beyond the law to ensure fairness, honesty, and integrity. Question 2. Why do ethical agents tend to be more successful? Answer: because they build trust, gain referrals, and create long-term relationships with clients. Question 3. What is a simple way to test if a decision is ethical? Answer: ask if you would be comfortable if others knew about your actions.